back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a very highly requested video. This is going to be my 10-minute makeup routine. This video can go from like 10 minutes to 15 minutes realistically. There's a few things in this routine that you can either cut out if it's something that you don't really care for, or you can add it on, which extends it to about 15 minutes max. So this is like a really great routine if you are a mom, if you're a student, if you're ever running late somewhere, maybe just days when you're tired and you don't feel like doing full-on glam. So as promised, and I'm hoping it works out because sometimes my camera overheats, so I'm hoping I can actually film the whole thing from beginning to end. What I'm gonna do is actually put a timer on, so that way you guys can actually see that how long it actually takes me. So I'm gonna have the timer on my phone and we'll start it off like that. So I also don't want to do a voiceover because I don't want to give the impression that I'm like cutting or editing. So this will just be full on, kind of hopefully a talk through. I hope I don't like extend my time with the talk through, and I hope I can mention like the products that I'm using and the reason why as I'm doing it. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But realistically, you'd be doing this in front of the mirror by yourself without having to explain what you're doing to an audience. So kind of give or take. Anyway, so let's begin. I'm gonna start the timer now. So first thing, you still wanna prime. I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer just so I could smooth out my pores a little bit, because especially around my nose area and right here is where I get a lot of texture from my larger pores. And I still wanna make sure I have some type of a good base. I actually feel nervous filming this. Then we're gonna go to concealer because we don't have time for foundation when we're running late, but I do wanna use concealer just to highlight my dark circles, any redness around my nose that I tend to have. This is the bareminerals serum concealer, and this is the lightest shade that they offer. I actually really like it for this purpose, like on quick makeup days, because it actually does blend into my skin tone really well. So these are the areas that I like have to hit with concealer. Then with just a beauty blender, we're gonna blend that out. And I prefer to use a beauty blender for this because I feel like it'll blend it out more seamlessly into my skin as opposed to a brush. Like, you're not gonna see any lines. So you see how the color is not super light to where it looks over exaggerated. It just kind of covered all my redness. Now we're not going to do any baking because usually baking will require some time to let the powder sit, but we're just going to set underneath the eye. So I'm using my Franki Rose Pro Contour Palette. I'm going to take a mixture of the yellow and the vanilla shade just to set underneath my eyes, because for sure those will crease up. This does add a little bit more brightness as well. I'm also going to do this on my nose, center of my forehead, basically anywhere where we would normally highlight. Now, to make sure the rest of our face is still covered and looks pretty flawless, I'm using my Urban Decay foundation powder. This is the shade 1 on a large powder brush, just to go over all the areas where we didn't put any other product. This kind of helps blend everything in together. It still gives us this like flawless foundation look without ever actually having to use foundation. And I like this because it's not super drying. It actually has a little bit of like a natural skin finish, because sometimes some foundation powders can be a little too drying. Then going back into that Franki Rose contour kit, I'm using this shade as a bronzer. So this makes it super easy to use. So I'm actually gonna bronze like how I normally do, which is on the forehead. Tip of the nose. Warming up my cheeks. I know I'm not mentioning brushes, but I'll list the brushes down below in the description box. And on my chin, and just a little bit down here. Now, I like to kind of deepen my contour, and for me, my nose contour is super important. So I'm actually gonna take the next darkest shade in this kit to just do the hollows of my cheek. And also on the sides of my nose here. Also right in here. Then you gotta add the glow for some luminosity. I'm taking my Jefree Star Ice Cold Skin Frost, adding this to the tops of my cheeks like normal. And then with my finger, a little bit on the tip of my nose, down the bridge, and across the Cupid's bow. Then I'm taking some clear brow gel because for the brows, it's just gonna be like a quick fill-in. So I just wanna make sure they're all in the same direction. And this, while we're putting on our blush, it'll dry a little bit. For the blush, I'm going with a really neutral color. I'm using my favorite one from Tarte. I think this one's called Exposed. I'm just brushing this right on top of the apples of my cheeks, going back towards my hairline. For lips, I like to use gloss because I think it's a little bit more forgiving. So I'm using my Koko gloss by Kylie. And then for the brows, I'm taking a pencil. Normally, I like to use the Benefit Precisely My Brow because the tip is really fine, but I ran out of it. So I'm using their Goof Proof brow pencil. And basically for the brows, what you're gonna wanna do is you just wanna fill in areas where you feel like it's a little bit sparse. So for me, it's like the baseline of my brow. I want it to be a lot stronger. And then just to extend the tail a little bit more. And then we're just gonna kind of blend it through. So right here kind of went a little too far in. I'll just take some concealer on a concealer brush just to quickly clean it up. And while we're here, I'll sharpen up the underbrow too. I'm just taking my beauty blender to blend that downward into my eyelid. And then last but not least, some mascara. I still have a few extensions on, so it's gonna look kind of funny. Now, I'm not blessed with really, really pretty natural eyelashes. So for me, mascara is only gonna really do so much. For those of you who have really nice eyelashes, this is gonna be like, wow. Like mascara goes a long way for you. Now last but not least, some setting spray. And that's it. Stop. So this took exactly 10 minutes and 11 seconds. So you look completely awake now. Oh, I got some mascara underneath. Definitely wait for your mascara to kind of dry a little bit before setting. But this goes to show that you can get like a nice full face of makeup on without having to like spend so much time on it. You still look super presentable. You look totally put together, and it actually kind of looks like you actually tried a little bit because you have your highlight going on, you have your bronzer, contour, you even have eyebrows on. So like I said, I wasn't blessed with like really pretty long natural eyelashes. So for me, I will take those extra like 2 to 5 minutes to put on some false lashes, and that takes this from like plain Jane to like, wow. I need to clean up just right there, it's bothering me. So before the video had started, I just quickly put on some glue onto my false lashes that I'm gonna be using. So I'll start the timer again. So just, you know, for the record, this did take about 10 minutes, just a little bit over. Now we're gonna pop on those falsies. For me, that'll complete like my look. Like I said, if you guys have really nice eyelashes or you don't really care for false eyelashes, then you would skip this and this is your 10-minute routine. But for those of you who are like me and you really like false lashes or you feel like you need them, then of course take those extra 5 minutes to pop them on. Also, this is why I really like eyelash extensions, because they just kind of like already give you that full lash look. So we could totally have skipped it if I had them on. So I'm gonna start the timer again. Let's pop these bad boys on. Got a little shaky there. And there we go. So now lashes are on, and now I feel like, okay, like I can take on the day. So now that took us to 11 minutes and 21 seconds. So again, this is something that goes super quick. I'm just gonna blend off that mascara that got on my lower lash line. So like I said, this is really good for those that are in school, or for me personally, this is what I do when I have like those like Saturdays where I start really, really early with clients. And I myself would rather have more sleep than wake up extra early just to do like a full beat. To me, this is like already good enough. So I have makeup on, I look presentable, I feel good, I feel more confident. So like I said, if you guys are moms or you have crazy work schedules or you're running late to somewhere, this is a great routine to incorporate or to start to like learn and practice, because you can get your full face on with a short amount of time. So that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's really helpful for you guys. And if you try it out or if you have any questions, let me know down below. All the products will be listed down below because I know I didn't really go into too much depth with them, you know, here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.